going to be doing lesson 5.4, which is solving quadratics by graphing. And when we're talking about solving, we're looking for the x-intercepts. There are quite a few ways that we're going to be doing or looking for the x-intercepts in this unit, but the first one is graphing. It's the easiest. You're just going to type it in the calculator. I told you in the first lesson that there are 4 words that all mean the same thing. So we're going to jot those 4 words down here. X-intercepts, roots, solutions, and zeros. Those all mean the same thing. So if something has 2 solutions, it has 2 x-intercepts. A quadratic cannot have more than 2 solutions or more than 2 x-intercepts. So we're going to look at an example of a quadratic with 2 solutions. It could look like this because it has 2 x-intercepts. Where I put the points, those are your x-intercepts. It could have 1 solution or 1 x-intercept if the vertex is actually the x-intercept. That would be an example where it only had 1. Or it could have none. So sketch on your graph what you think it would look like if it had 0 solutions or 0 x-intercepts. So maybe like this. This is a possible example. Or it could be upside down. But either way, it does not cross. Now, you can't do this. Because even though you didn't draw it crossing the x-axis, these arrows mean that it eventually would. So this is not a correct example. If it was down here, it would need to be upside down, like this. We have 3 equations that we are going to graph, and we're going to use our calculator to graph those. So if you don't have your calculator, you need to go get it. In order to graph, you're going to go to your y equals. So hit that button here top left. And you're going to type in the equation, x squared minus 2x. Hit y equals. Then type it in. On number 1, x squared minus 2x. Now we're actually going to look at the table. I don't want you to go straight to the graph because you won't know exactly where the points are. The table, notice right here where I'm pointing, it says blue table. So to get to that, you have to hit the second button, and then you hit this one because it's where it says table. And it's going to take you to a list of numbers. And we are going to copy down some of these numbers. Now, the way you know which ones that we're going to use, those are the ones that would fit on the graph. All of these points, and it goes on forever, all of these points are technically on the parabola, but they won't fit on my picture. So you're going to have to scroll until you get to the smaller numbers. And this one is the first one that will actually fit on my graph because the graph actually only goes to 8 and -8. So -2, 8. -1, 3. I'm just going down my list. I'm going to write down every single one of them that will fit on my graph. 0, 0. 1, -1. 2, 0. 3, 3. Then go check your, if yours is different, go look back to your y equals. Did you put a minus or did you put a negative sign there? I'll come up. Once you have your table, go ahead and plot those points on your graph. So -2, 8. So left 2, up 8. -1, 3. 0, 0. 1, -1. 2, 0. 3, 3. And 4, 8. Yep, it has 2 solutions. It has 2 x-intercepts, 2 roots, 2 zeros. We're going to jot those down. So our x-intercepts, these 2 points right here, where it crosses the x-axis. Those are the points 0, 0, and the point 2, 0. Anytime that you have a 0 for your y, it is an x-intercept. Because that means if your y is 0, that means you didn't go up or down any. So it stayed on the x-axis. Sometimes you might just see them listed like this, 0, 2. That just means 0 and 2 are your x-intercepts. They may not be listed as 2 separate coordinate points. Either one is technically fine. Just if it's multiple choice, just know you may see it one of 2 ways. Or you could just say 0 and 2. There's a lot of variations for the way that you'll see it. Any questions? Let's do number 2. So go back to your y equals and clear out that equation. And type in x squared plus 8x plus 15. We're going to look at the table. So second graph, because it says table up there in blue. And you might have to scroll up or down a little bit to find the numbers that will fit on your graph. So none of the numbers that we write down can be bigger than 8, because that's how far our graph goes. If our graph went up to 20, we could use numbers that were up to 20. So the first one that I can write is -7, 8, and then go down. -6, 3. -5, 0. -4, -1. negative 3, 0, negative 2, 3. Technically, yeah, but you want to start with the ones that'll fit on your graph. Now, if we look at our table, something else that you can easily identify is the vertex. If you look at your y values, notice how your numbers kind of go towards negative 1 and then they go repeat again. This one in the middle is your vertex because that's where the numbers start repeating again. That's just a little thing that you can see. So if I plot negative 7, 8, negative 6, 3, negative 5, 0, negative 4, negative 1, negative 3, 0, negative 2, 3, and negative 1, 8. What doesn't? So your x-intercepts, that's where the y is 0. We have negative 5, 0, and negative 3, 0. Or you could have just wrote negative 5 and negative 3. Either way.
So really, you wouldn't have to go through the graphing process, would you?
Not technically. Now, sometimes it may not be on a whole number, and that's what we're going to do in future lessons to figure out those x-intercepts. You are. So I want you to do number 3. All right, on this one, you should have found these points. Yeah, I've graphed it. And this one only had one x-intercept. It was the point 2, 0.